Beasts. Gang Beasts is at PAX.
I'm aware.
He's got his silly little raccoon outfit.
Yeah.
Gang Beasts.
It's hard to see, but it's Gang Beasts. So, developer for Edge of Space, say something good about your game.
It's awesome. Raptors.
Space Raptors.
Space Raptors. Space Raptor now.
You can ride a space raptor.
Me and Nathan just played it. It's really good.
That game is really good. We'll release a video on it.
We'll talk about it more, but for now, it's good. We're headed home from PAX. Yay! PAX is over. I hope you can hear me over the loud road.
How was PAX for you?
PAX was really good. I really liked a lot of the stuff I saw. I didn't get to play too many of the big titles, with the exception of Smash Bros. Smash Bros is good. And I'm super glad that Mega Man is more powerful than I thought he was from the E3 tournament thing. The guy just wasn't very good with him. He's a pretty good character, but yeah, I gotta play Smash Bros. I was excited about that. The game that sticks out most to me was there's this platformer called Randall. I'm not sure why I remember it above everything else. It was pretty tough, but it had like a mind control element, and it was difficult. I think they could increase the timing windows on like the grabbing for ledges and things like that.
It was, and part of that's just because it's a show floor demo and there's lag involved. I mean, if you're on a legless system, it seems like it would work pretty okay. Especially the triggers don't help either. Like I would prefer if it was the shoulder buttons, the R1 and L1 for something that precise timing. If it allowed better road here, but. It looked pretty good. I didn't actually get to fiddle around with that one too much, but I did try those grabbing windows, and after the guy advised me to grab a little bit early, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. I think another one that we can both agree on we really liked, that we'll probably be doing a video on, we'll probably even have footage in this video of it, is Edge of Space.
Edge of Space I liked a lot, yeah.
It was like Starbound where they made content.
Yeah. I don't want to be that harsh, because the Starbound guys have been releasing updates, sort of.
But yeah, sort of. That's not what you want to hear.
They've got their they still have a lot of fundamentals to get down before they start releasing large amount of content.
But they haven't been releasing content. It's the problem. Like,
that's the problematic part.
The game should be done by now.
Well, I mean,
it doesn't have to be done, but it has to be like, major progress. Like, you guys, they had a Kickstarter, right?
Yeah.
And, like, funding past that even. Like, whether it's there, like, come on.
I know that the crying of the game should be done by now as it gets out there a lot. But I mean, if you look at something like, obviously, Fez isn't a good example, but like something like Cave Story took like how long was it? It was years. Yeah, it was free, but. And people do expect progress, but they do have a progress report on their website.
Saying it should be done is a bit harsh, but content updates and I don't know, challenges. It's something like the bosses in Terraria would be a nice thing to have.
I mean, they do have bosses, right? I mean, they're periodic.
Yeah.
They're a little lackluster right now, but I think one of the things that's a big hang-up is that they're working heavily on mechanics right now, especially in the movement mechanics of things.
Yeah.
That's one thing that Edge of Space really did excel at a lot, was that the movement mechanics were really, really solid. There was a good fluid jump. It felt really nice. Moving around was fluid enough. The dropping down on platforms wasn't perfect, but the jetpack mechanic, which I guess everything has a jetpack, which is that's a sure sign of a good game to me, is jetpacks, especially if everything gets a jetpack.
I don't know, man. Dark Void didn't do that well.
And that was a point I brought up to another guy who had jetpacks in this game. It's like, jetpacks are almost always a sign of a good game. Dark Void had good jetpack mechanics, but the game sucked in it. It was a really good concept. It was just poorly executed.
Let's move on past that though. But yeah, Dark. We'll probably do more stuff about Edge of Space, but it looks promising. Looks like a good Terraria.
Yeah,
Starbound type of thing that looks enjoyable.
I had a really good time with it. I thought it was just like a generic, from the little preview images, I was like, oh, it's like trying to be a Starbound, but it really isn't. But it has different goals in mind.
Yeah.
What other games really stuck out to you?
Let me. I didn't get to play it, but something I didn't even know I wanted that I was hyped for is the Lichdom Battle Mage. Which, looked really neat. I hope it's as neat as I hope it plays as cool as it looked, because it's like someone took just the Elder Scrolls magic system or whatever, and they took a mod where they made the magic way better. They made a whole game about it, and then but it's just magic. There's no swords or blocking, just magic, which I love, because magic is really interesting, and I think the limitation of just having magic means they can better focus on the mechanics of that.
Of course. We did not have time to stand around in that line, because good lord, there was never a point where that line wasn't enormous that we went by at the very least.
Same goes for Bloodborne. I'd like to say more about Bloodborne, but I just didn't have time to see the line.
Yeah, we got to look at it, and it's medieval Dark Souls kind of, or more like colonial with demons,
which is interesting. It's a different setting. That's really interesting.
Yeah, the guns look good. I like that.
Fucking creepy.
I like I like their shielding is no longer something that I have to pay attention to, because I always just dodge rolled anyways.
Let's see. Past that, we got to see Super Meat Boy Forever, which is Super Meat Boy Forever. It's not like the something autumn. I can't remember what the brand was.
Yeah, that was interesting. It's
we got to meet Tommy from the Tommy and Edmund pair that made the original, made Meat Boy or whatever. And
the
really
TV
nice
guys.
Inside my stuff.
Tommy Raffinez, who I called Raffinez because I have a really bad habit of mispronouncing his name, but he was cool with it. So
I'm gonna get it, and it looks interesting. But it's an Android game, which in itself isn't a problem. But it's an auto runner, like Bit Trip Runner or something like that. Which I don't know about that, man.
I know you're not a huge fan of them.
Your only options are duck and jump. It's like.
And I think it lends itself well to a mobile platform, though, because if you've ever tried to play something that attempted to use like a joystick, a simulated joystick on a touchscreen.
My response to that is don't put it on mobile and give me another Meat Boy.
I mean, the thing is that Team Meat has other things that they're working on. They didn't have to make another Meat Boy game, but they made a little miniature Meat Boy game for mobile users, which is nice. I mean, it's like you go, you can't go up and be like, hey, why did you make this game? Don't make this game, make a different game.
There's nothing wrong
they get
with
to make whatever they want.
Yeah, but just it does kind of track. I see Super Meat Boy Forever, and I'm just and I audibly gasp. I was like, And then it was just a little bit of a letdown. I really do hope that someday they'll I hope this isn't the only revisitation of Meat Boy we get. I hope that we do get more the levels we expected from the other Meat Boy game. I don't know, you can argue that there's the user-created content, but I don't know, I would like to see a more official, Meat Boy, Super Meat Boy 2 with actual joystick controls. Everything, but we'll see how this turns out. I'll buy it, we'll see how it is. I'm not the biggest Bit Trip type of fan, so maybe it's not for me, but I like that. Anything you want to go on to?
I'd say Magnetic by Nature was maybe the thing that stuck out the most to me, and those guys, I found that booth because I was walking by and I recognized the name, and I remembered that someone locally had told me about the game way before PAX. It's the developers are from Salt Lake City, which is our hometown. That's where we live. They live there and are making the game there and everything. They just only right before PAX learned that they were going to be going. It was kind of a pleasant surprise. Oh, phone.
Right.
Ding, 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 ding.
Continued in part 2, or are we going to keep recording?
Well, give me a sec.
Okay. So, were you recording that before?
Yeah, I was.
We're recording now? Okay.
So, Magnetic by Nature. Magnetic by Nature is neat.
It's a game, mentioned before, it's a game made in Salt Lake City, Utah, where we're from, so it's a local game for us. It's I believe it's coming out on Steam later this month, or it's definitely this year. Soon.
both of us actually enjoyed the game enough that we both bought bundles with it that include the game, but we'll get our Steam keys in email, and when we do, at the very least, I'm going to record some footage of it.
Yeah, I'd hope we'd be able to do something together with that.
But yeah, it's what I played of it was really fun. It's all about a very simple set of mechanics, which is you are a magnetic robot floaty thing that can attract yourself or push yourself away from certain objects. Red objects you can repel off of, and blue objects you can attract yourself to, and there's some that are both.
And you kind of hope for certain things. We think magnetism and magnetic by nature, but yeah, you can toggle, repel, or attract on, and you can do a lot of slingshot type mechanics. You know, the closer you are to something, the faster it pushes you away. Then you can like fling yourself towards something if you grab it on the edge of your grabbing range, and just like fling yourself forward. A lot of cool ideas.
It worked really fluidly, and they slowly introduced more mechanics just with the blocks that you push yourself from, and having to pull a jumping point from one side to the other side of a map and things.
Neat.
It was, yeah, and it was all built off of just that one mechanic from what I played. It worked really solidly. It was smooth as hell. The controls were really responsive and shit. So I feel biased because these people are local, but it's not like I know them.
Yeah, we didn't get paid, like, we had to buy the game with our own money, so it's something we're paying, like, positive press for the game. Like, no, we're not even important enough to get free press copies of games. Not even close. I
digged it a lot, though. That was, out of the games that I played this weekend, that was one of the ones that stuck out the most to me.
Another thing to mention is probably what you might be seeing this video is we gotta meet the developers of Gang Beasts.
Gang Beasts! Woo-hoo! We were like, hey, did you see our video? And they're like, no.
They were probably just tired from tax. I like to give them the benefit of the doubt on that. Yeah. They really seem to give two shits about us, but that's okay.
Yeah, we don't give two shits about us either. Oh, you fucked up, buddy. Oh, you look at you dummy.
Speedins.
Or something. Maybe he's hiding drugs. I don't know.
He's gonna go fast but 60.
We'll move it. Speed up.
Doesn't matter. Video games, though.
Video games.
We met the guy who made Defense Grid 2. That was the coolest developer we met by far. That guy was lovely.
When I get home, I'm gonna find out his name. He's we were talking to him with some of the other fans of the game, and I was telling him how much I loved his game and how I considered the original Defense Grid to be one of the best. It's the golden standard for non-mixed genre tower defense. If you're making a pure tower defense, that is what you have to be at least almost as good as, because the polish and the personality in that game, everything.
It's a fucking good tower defense.
Everything is fantastic in that game, and me and this other guy were just raining praise on that guy because we like the game so much, and that's the first time I've ever seen a developer get teary-eyed at compliments. He was like, "Oh, thank you so much. I don't know. I like having a job, and you guys are helping me, live my dream and things like that." I was like, "Oh my god,
thank you. You guys give me work. This is the reason I do it. Thank you so much."
He was a really humble guy.
Nice.
Dude, I cannot support Defense Grid enough now. I'm not that I wouldn't be like, "Oh my god, another Defense Grid game," because I love tower defense, and that is just... It's been a long time since I've had a pure tower defense game come out that I was really excited about, but I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know they were making a sequel to Defense Grid.
There were a lot of things I didn't know were a thing until tax was happening. Like, for example, another thing I realized is Devolver Digital makes a lot of games I like that I didn't know they were associated with. I might be wrong on this, but it seems like Devolver Digital is associated with Hotline Miami, and Serious Sam, and this new thing called the Talos Principle?
The Talos Principle.
Okay, yeah, the Talos Principle.
I believe.
First of all, I know there was a new Serious Sam coming out. Apparently that's a thing.
Yeah, there
will be a new Serious Sam.
They're working on Serious 4, which...
How we found out about that is the Talos Principle is a puzzle game we tried out. That they're like, is it running on the Serious 4 engine? I'm like, the Serious 4 engine? Is there more Serious Sam? Yeah, there is. Like, I'm disappointed I didn't know that. But we got to check out the Talos Principle, which is it was a neat puzzle game. It was very much just a puzzle game, really, as far as I could tell. A lot of it revolving around redirecting lasers.
It was a good first-person puzzle game, though. It wasn't was very much nothing was too obtuse. It wasn't like, oh, you're supposed to flip that switch, then this switch, then that switch. It was more,
You can see how you're
put the block in the right place, and then activate it, and the fan will lift the block and put the laser diode in the right place.
Yeah, I would compare the puzzles closer to that of Portal rather than Myst.
Yeah, it's
so solvable for people like me.
Like what's that? Then I flip a switch game.
Quantum Conundrum.
Quantum Conundrum, kind of a little bit too. That kind of puzzle solving.
I'm not sure if I'd be super thrilled for it. Might be like I like the games well enough. I'll buy it and play and enjoy. But they're nothing I range and rave over. But the coolest part about Talos Principle by far was the aesthetic. Is like,
oh my god, that game was beautiful.
It looked really beautiful, and the setting is like evangelical church type stuff. And then like compared to that, you're a robot that looks like I Am Robot type of robot.
Incredibly, an incredibly smooth high tech robot, and it's got this very.
Do you remember the phrase the developer used, like something dimorphism?
Oh no, it was anachronistic juxtaposition, which is everything looks kind of like medieval Europe, but you are an anachronism in that time because everything is kind of dilapidated and overgrown and old, and you are obviously futuristic robot using these little futuristic cubes and diodes to redirect lasers and get through force barriers. And there's this sort of God voice that speaks to you through it.
It's like Old Testament type.
Yeah, even the symbol for the game is that famous painting of
with like God touching man. Where you like the finger.
Yeah, the finger reaching out towards each other. It's that, but with a robot hand. Yeah. It's got some very biblical kind of theming going on.
And to be super transparent, I'm not going to say that my opinion was not swayed by the fact that I played through their whole demo and they gave me a shirt and poster for free.
I know, right? That was crazy.
No one did that. Like, I fucking love Shovel Knight, but I didn't want to pay $25 for a poster. These guys were handing out posters and shirts for free.
Just for beating a demo.
Very nice of them.
Yeah.
Pack swag.
Pack swag.
Speaking of games that we didn't know existed, Game 4 by Behemoth.
Oh yeah, it's just a working
Game
title.
4 too.
That was another one we just did not. Every time I went by, they had an enforcer standing at the end with a sign that said "Line is full." Yep. I was like, oh.
Yep. Behemoth is the makers of Alien Hominid, Castle Crashers, and
Metal Block Theater. They're the Newgrounds guys.
They're making a game.
Tom Fulton and Dan Paladin.
It's just called Game 4 right now, and it looks like
I believe that's a development.
Might and Magic of all things. Fast.
It's but a lot quicker, a lot smoother.
Based on like reaction time and things like that. Yeah, it looks really interesting. I didn't really get to see too much of it, to be honest. It's like a hexagonal based RTS type game, but with like real time elements in it.
Like turn-based kind of. I don't even know what to think of it so far. All I remember was seeing some guy's beard turn up and down. But there was a definite hype crowd for the Behemoth there. They had fucking pull at that PAX. Even the lanyards had thebehemoth.com on them. Yep. So clearly they were the rulers of PAX this year.
Well, maybe not as far as that.
No, but I mean, as far as freaking, like, they're not Sega or
Sony or Xbox.
Sony, EA, Xbox, anyone. They're fucking the Newgrounds guys, but man, they had some pull there.
Yeah, and I've enjoyed everything they put out so far. I will probably, you shouldn't do as I say, not as I do, but I will buy it on faith alone for that developer. You guys put out cool stuff, I can trust you.
Yeah,
so, we'll see.
It's a good developer. That's
I advise people to not do that, because I think buying games on faith is a stupid idea, but I can sometimes be stupid. So.
Oh yeah, it's like the Valve principle. If Valve puts something out, I will at least try it.
Did you ever try Dota 2?
Oh, I haven't yet. I said I will. I did not say that I have. I didn't say I have played everything they put out. It's because I'm still on a hiatus from MOBAs because my butthole needs to unclench still.
Let's see.
It's awful.
Microsoft had some stuff that we checked out. We already talked a little bit about the Sony products like Bloodborne. They had Forza's racing, They had Sunset Overdrive. Lines are too long for me to try it. I'm looking forward to Sunset Overdrive. I really hope it's good because I like Insomniac a lot, and it looks interesting for it. And I'm gonna for Xbox games I like. Oh, Fruit Antiques.
Ooh, antique fruit.
but video games. I'm not sure about Sunset Overdrive. Like, I really just want it to be good. Like, because I also like Insomniac a whole bunch, and like last time they ventured outside of their Sony partnership, it didn't go so well because Fuse was pretty bad.
Yeah.
We also saw Project Spark from Xbox, which I don't really know about actually that much. I kind of just dismissed it offhand.
Those guys, I went past and was like, hey, and then they told me a little bit about it, and I love world building games. You know, I was one of those guys who
free, as I understand it.
I've played at the very least on Windows 8, which then I'd have to uninstall.
Some people will disagree for certain things, like that price shouldn't factor into a game, but like, for example, I paid $20 for Gone Home. I classify that as a mistake for how little it has. I won't, not for like the content I got for the $20 I spent. I regret that decision. Anything that's free, like I will so much, like that influenced my opinion a lot. Like there's not a reason to not play this because like it's fucking free, man. There's nothing to lose here, but other than your time, I guess. Like, I don't know, there's some game, like, I think I played, like, Witch or something like that. I don't remember, some free game on Steam. I didn't like it, but it was free, so I'm not mad about it. Yeah. But yeah, this thing is free for Windows 8 users, boo, and Xbox One users, maybe boo.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's free on Xbox One, but
it sounded like it was.
It was a voxel-based world-building thing with a lot of options, as far as I could tell. They said you can do anything, and that's always a very broad statement.
Peter Money should have been in that booth.
Yeah.
You can do anything!
Anything ever. You can do something. So, but
they're trying to create, like, it looked like a friendly Unity engine. Like, they really were trying to create something where people could make video games, like trying to be really user-friendly.
Yeah, it was gorgeous, too.
It looked really good.
As someone who played Minecraft with, groups of, on servers and, build fantasy worlds and, sci-fi worlds, just for the sake of it, and just because I enjoyed building things with friends, block by block, that is something that very much intrigues me. Unfortunately, I don't currently at my residence have an Xbox One or Windows 8. I might have to dual boot my computer.
It was funny. The Microsoft guy was like, you could just dual boot to Windows 8. Like, man, he knows that people don't like Windows 8.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he heard that all weekend. They're like, Windows 8, and he's well, can you just put it even on like Microsoft's games for Windows Live, I guess.
What else we got? Isn't Games for Windows Live dying or something? I don't know. I don't know.
Let's not get into issues we don't know anything about.
Let's talk about things we have no inclination about. Anything else we saw that sticks out? Are we missing stuff?
Probably tons. Phoenix Rage was pretty interesting. It was an unlimited jumpy platforming game. I liked it.
Okay.
I thought it was pretty good. It was definitely mechanically kind of frustrating, but I haven't played a platformer game that let you jump unlimitedly. Ever.
Normally that sounds contrarian. Like, it's a platform where you can always jump. Like that.
It's a maneuverability issue though, because
I don't know. Weird comparison, but I guess I could compare it to Fly Wrench. I could see that because you have to shoot up and crash through stuff.
What the fuck is Fly Wrench?
He's the guy from Super Meat Boy, where you just stick.
Oh god, colors? Yeah, Fly Wrench.
Yeah, you played Fly Wrench.
Yeah, that was.
I beat Fly Wrench even.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, sort of, I guess. Fly Wrench was interesting. I liked Fly Wrench, actually.
There was Ubisoft there. I've never, Far Cry 4 and a new Assassin's Creed.
Far Cry 4, fine. Yeah, cool.
If that's your thing, go for
it. Far Cry 3 was neat. The Far Cry 4 is probably going to be neat, too.
I swear to God, those games are just, a bland mush to me now, where, it's just, this is a Ubisoft game, a third person, these are the controls. Hey, I can't get hyped over them anymore, it feels like. Yeah. I should probably play more Assassin's Creed 4 because I've heard it added more. So I should probably give that a go.
I haven't played Assassin's Creed in quite a while. That's not even for the multiplayer because I played the ship. So
I would talk about it more if I was, genuinely upset and outraged at a game. But I just don't have that many feelings towards Ubisoft games these days.
Yeah,
I don't know. It feels so similar to each other. It's hard to get hyped.
I'm gonna grab my list of games that we saw that were interesting real quick. So I'm gonna stop recording for a second.
I forgot we had those lists. I created one of those too.
Okay, Louis, you could shut up for a minute, because I'm going to talk about a roguelike.
Enjoy your selfies, faggot.
Oh, Jesus. Hi! So, I remembered that there is a game that I played that Louis didn't get a chance to, because he was too busy waiting for Smash. But on the upper level, there were a lot of more indie games, and the good news is that there's a new roguelike coming out. For roguelike fans, this is good news, especially because it was really solidly done. It's called Dragonfin Soup, which is a weird name, don't get me wrong. I think they're like German developers, maybe it translates better there, but from what I played, the game was really solid. It's the setting is very much fairy tale-esque. The main character is based off Little Red Riding Hood, although that's mostly in design. She's a bounty hunter and an alcoholic. She has a wolf friend named Big Bad, and you're on some kind of quest for revenge, from what I gathered. And mechanically, the thing that it reminded me the most of was Dungeons of Dreadmore. And Dungeons of Dreadmore is a game that I do like a lot. It's hard to play long hours of it for me, because roguelikes do wear on you, especially with the whole permadeath feature, which if you don't turn that on, what's wrong with you? Because, you're supposed to frustrate yourself.
To insert myself here, just the one opinion I'd have is, it may not appeal to certain, like, really hardcore, it might, but it may not appeal to certain really hardcore roguelike fans. I mean, I don't mean that, like, in a bad way, but, like, it's a different kind of roguelike. Like, you're thinking more close to Dungeons of Dreadmore rather than, like, Dwarf Fort or Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. It's less of the really extreme, what do they call that type of graphics? Like the not graphics?
Like ASCII?
ASCII graphics, yeah. It's not ASCII graphics, it has graphics.
Well, I mean, it has
like,
really good looking graphics, too.
Yeah. It's not going to be like a super, like, crazy command-based thing that it looks like. That's from observation. I don't know, Nathan. Have you found that to be the same, or?
Yeah, no. I mean, obviously, it was definitely.
You can play with a controller. You said,
graphically heavy. Yeah. It was actually surprisingly. It's going to be out on touchscreen devices, and the touch controls worked well. It was obviously on a monitor, so I was able to reach and touch everything pretty well. But it seems like it was geared for. It was really geared for touchscreen devices, and it was geared for them pretty well.
And as casual as it sounds, that's kind of promising to me, because, like, that's what made me like FTL a lot more, because I'm kind of turned off from dungeon crawlers, because it's such a barrier to entry a lot of the time for learning a new system for each one.
Yeah,
but, I could play FTL because I could see, like, all the stuff I was supposed to do, and I could visualize everything.
It was a UI heavy game, but everything was appealing, and and that's what I get from Dragonfin Soup, is that the user interface is not cluttered. And they said that they were going to put more or less in. They were going to fiddle with the UI a little bit more, and that not everything was in. But from what I saw, it was very minimal. The combat windows came up when you entered combat, rather than were up all the time and showed your health bar and their health bar, and had everything. You did have a small health bar at the bottom, but it was all very minimalistic. It was all very readable. As the inventory system was very contained, and it wasn't. There wasn't. I mean, even if you look at something like Dungeons of Dreadmore, there is just this gauge cluster at the bottom of your screen, which is for new players, especially of roguelikes, going into a game like that and seeing that is very intimidating. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say something we want to transition into is. Action tower defense game, which is two I want to talk about. One that I hope you found the name for.
No.
Fuck.
Well, you can't spring this on me, man. I don't.
Shit. Well, the other one, to talk about that first, while Nathan tries to find the name of it. God, I had a sticker from him too. Shit. The other one was going to be a new Orcs Must Die game. I love Orcs Must Die.
Was Orcs Must Die there?
There was a new Orcs Must Die game. Yeah, Unchained, I believe was the name. I'll have to look it up when I get home. And I'll put it, I'll fix this or something, put up an annotation. If hope Lewis of the future, remember this shit. Fix the name if you're wrong. But I think it's Orcs Must Die Unchained. There's going to be an Orcs Must Die. I couldn't find any demos or booths or footage of it. I saw, one screen somewhere for it, and I couldn't find it again. But I adore Orcs Must Die. I love the more action-based tower defense. Nathan's a bit more traditional tower defense for what he's good at.
Well, I'm also good at the... reasonably good at the first-person shooter ones, like Sanctum.
Yeah, but I'm Orcs Must Die is a lot more based on your actions as a character. Like, your stuff doesn't. There's not even really towers. It's more like just the traps, trap defense. I think is how they refer to it as at Robot Entertainment. But like, you have to do a lot of the work, which I'm a lot better at. I like the hectic, defending the waves and stuff. But I am super excited. I don't even really know that much about it, but I'm excited. Then there was Other Game. Okay, so Other Game is called Fortified.
Yes, I found it. It's that was a really interesting one too. It's another third-person shooter, tower defense type thing, with a heavy focus on the users. The control scheme and the shooting and everything reminded me a little bit of Earth Defense Force, and that is not a bad thing to say at all. It's
this one seemed pretty darn early in development.
I'd say, yeah. Well, the advertising material I got for it said that it was coming in to PC and console in 2015, so it's a pretty broad window.
Yeah,
but
hopefully later. I want them to see if do a bit more, but from what I played, I enjoyed it. It is going to be another Orcs Must Die-ish type tower defense game where you set up turrets and like you have your dudes and you place dudes. They listed Orcs Must Die as an inspiration, so I'd have no shame saying that. But it's going to be a lot where you had 2 characters from what we saw. I'm not sure if there's going to be more, but you had like the Rocketeer who could just fly all over the battlefield, which was fun. And you had I think a soldier type guy.
He was called the Commander.
You could have a whole bunch of units, and if anyone who's played Orcs Must Die, you can place down units in those kind of defended area. The neat thing about this one is you can move those units with you and like have them attack stuff with you, which is nice. There's not too much to say about it. Like, it was pretty basic when we played it. Like, they had animations and there was like a game there at least. It wasn't like early access bullshit.
Yeah, it was mechanically sound at the very least.
There's only like 4 enemy types that were in the game.
Yeah. So, and then what I would like to talk about that is because this is more my area, I suppose, is the art style was really neat to me. Anyone who's played Fallout knows that retro futuristic thing from Robco robots, where it's kind of the people from the 40s and 50s impression of what futuristic was, as these high sheen, silver robots with big glossy things and tubes and green plasma energy, things like that, and all the enemy robots. That's the alien invasion. It's set in like the 50s, so everyone has like the hair curls and so there's probably malt shops for all I know, but it's a very Johnny Rocket kind of thing. But the invading alien robots look just like that, like the old school War of the Worlds kind of aliens. Which I love that aesthetic. I can't get enough of that, and I haven't seen it in a while. It's one of my favorite things from Fallout. And I actually had a good discussion with one of the developers from the game about Fallout, which is, I informed him on Tale of Two Wastelands, and he was kind of mind blown about it. But I guess that's one of his favorite games, and he was one of the guys advising the art on the game. So it makes a lot of sense that Robco is sort of the inspiration for that style, as well as just that general 50s aesthetic in general.
So anything else we need to talk about?
I don't know. I think that's about it, honestly.
That's about it. That's all that comes to mind about PAX. But PAX was fun.
PAX was awesome.
Yeah, I probably won't be going every year.
No, we cannot afford it. We don't make any YouTube money, so it's not like we live in just like
not yet
funded from there. Oh yeah, we're gonna make all the YouTube monies.
But for anyone viewing this, apologies for not putting out a video for a little bit. It has been a little while. I'm not gonna say, oh, we'll do it every day and we'll do it for soon, because that's exactly what people say right before they die. It seems like YouTube channels just die after they promise a whole bunch. But it's been hard to get together with Nathan. Like back in college, we both have jobs.
Yeah,
it doesn't match up a lot.
I work full time, so
yeah. So when we get together, we'll try and put out a video every once in a while. If anyone wants to see, I put out a few of those top 5 type videos, and I could do some more stuff of my own if anyone's interested. Leave a comment or something if you care about it. But thanks for watching. And just again, like to mention, if there's some type of content you want, like if you prefer us talking about video games longer like this, that's cool. We can do more of that. If you like this talk here, tell us. We can do more of that. If you want to see my top 5 videos, tell us more of that. Or we can even do Let's Plays, whatever. Like if there's anything
or dumb short videos, of course.
Exactly. Like those highlight reels. I really like those personally. I think they turn out pretty good. But yeah, just mean, we're small enough. If you make a suggestion, we'll pretty much do it.
Yeah, we will, unless you're like, take your pants off, in which case...
Then maybe we'll do it.
We will,
Then just maybe.
Then it's a coin flip. You gotta, you know... Okay.
But thank you for watching, for anyone who's watching.
Yeah, anyone who's stuck with us this long, you're cool. That's thanks for listening to us not shut the fuck up for like 20 minutes. That's
that's cool of you guys. So,
you're a trooper, bro.
This is Mega Squid signing off, I suppose.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Lewis. Bye, Nathan. I don't know if I've actually gotten my face this entire time.
Maybe.
You might get like a shot of my nose like this every 5 minutes.
Shot of your neck beard.
Look at that! Didn't bring a razor.
I'm growing a bunch of facial hair too. I haven't shaved in a while.
Oh, that's patchy.
It's not good.
Ooh, that's a patchy patch.
It's not good.
Look at your face.
Cut the video.
Good night, Lewis.
Cut the video.